guys, I have a very special guest today, and I actually got dressed up like I had a dress and everything, so to look pretty. And Bugsy saw me leaving, you know Bugsy boy, my toy poodle, and he took a piss on my dress. That was fun, and I was really happy. I was looking at him, I was, the visual, I was like, I cursed out a 4-pound poodle. Do whatever you want if you don't like that shit. I just wanted to share that with you. So I'm so excited, and you're going to be excited too. And you know who this is. I have a very special guest that's very special to me. I love her very much. And you know her because she had plenty of shows too, as Big Angie's sister, Janine. So, Janine, I'm so happy you're here.
And I'm so happy to be here.
No, you have no idea. I was so excited.
I'm so happy that you invited me. Thank you.
I just want everybody to know that getting her here was a mission. I'm sorry, I have a dentist appointment. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? It's today. It's today? It was hilarious. But Janine had to come here because of many reasons. We have to catch up and see what's going on. And I tried not talking to her too much, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to be good about it.
So there's so much to catch up with. My sister's going to be gone 9 years in February. It never gets easy.
9 years.
Yep. In February.
God rest us all.
So I count the days every single day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's horrible. I hate it.
9 years.
So I don't know if you know, but we were 7 brothers and sisters.
Yeah, remember she told me. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, you have an incredible family.
Thank you.
I used to tell, like, when VH1, like, when they were doing the show and they were doing the spinoff for Big Ange, I was sitting there like, what are you guys thinking? She has a huge family. Beautiful, amazing people, funny, entertaining. That would have been...
Talented, too.
That would have, like me personally, if I was the producer and I was doing a spinoff, no question, I would have been like, Ange and her whole family would have been, boom, on camera. There's so many. It's a beautiful, big family. You're blessed for having a big family like that. And everyone's so supportive and loving, you know?
They're good. Thank God.
And God is right. But we got to talk about, look what she brought me a gift. I want you to talk about the book and tell me everything. I can't wait to read it.
So I actually thought that I was losing my mind when my sister passed away because I was convinced that she was going to live. She kept saying to me a lot of times, and I used to tell her, stop, because you're manifesting it. You're saying it so much, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. What am I going to do? I'm going to miss my grandchildren. I'm going to miss my kids. What am I going to do without you guys? Like, I don't know what to do. So I says, keep saying that you're not going to, because I feel if you put something out in the universe, it's going to come back.
100% I agree with you.
And she would not listen to me. What else is new? That's Angela. She does what she wants.
When she used to say that to me, and I used to say the same thing to her.
Yeah.
She would say it, I would be choked up, and I didn't want to be, make her feel. I was like, you got to look at things positive, but she was scared.
She was so scared. So what she did every night was she watched the St. Jude's channel, and she would just watch it and call me and say, if they can do it, I can do it. And I said, okay, well, if that's what's helping you, then do it. So when she passed away, a lot of people asked me, like, flowers were ridiculous and everything was so ridiculous. I said, just donate. Even if it's $5 to St. Jude. She loved St. Jude.
I'm going to cry. I don't want to cry. I'm going to cry.
What happened was when I went to the doctor and I told my doctor that I think I'm going crazy and I need a nut house, she told me, go home, get a black and white notebook, a school notebook, and write down your memories. Because I was so afraid that I was going to get Alzheimer's, that I was going to forget her and the times that we had. So I did. I went home, I got the black and white notebook, and I just started to write. And truthfully, it was so healing.
Yeah.
It was. And I have this really good friend that does, she'll edit and everything. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
so
how you did it?
all the stories I kept
It made you
writing.
so. It probably made you feel so good to remember the good.
And some stories you just had to be on the floor peeing your pants. And sometimes you were like,
Wait, so it's
oh
kind
my
of like a
God,
diary of your life with
with her.
Ange.
This is about before, this is us before,
Look at this picture.
that's before, and then this is after. So I don't know if anybody else knows, but I was born on June 28th. Angela was born on June 30th. So I never, ever, ever had a cake by myself until she passed away. Even I got married to Dominic the second time.
Did you just say when you married Dominic the second time?
The second time.
Okay, so we have to get back to that. Let's finish this road and then get back to that because that's hilarious.
So when we did it, I did it June 24th. And when I did it, I said, you know what, bring out the 2 cakes for me and my sister. So they came out with the 2 cakes with the big candles. And the big baby blew out my candles. And her candle.
Did you ever see that viral video of the little girl that blew out the little girl's candle? I did a voiceover on it. That
She blows out her
hilarious.
candle, and I'm like so happy. I'm looking around, and as I'm looking around, she blows the candle out. It's like so crazy how she was, you know?
Yeah,
what
but
I mean? Like a
I
little
feel
kid.
like with mob wives, like I don't think anyone really realized how gangsta Ange was.
And soft at the same time.
100%. It's kind of like me. I'm super sensitive. People don't even really, if you watch the show, you will never really know who I am because you always see me aggravated, but people are fighting with me. But I'm nothing like, that's the same thing with Ange, but they also don't see that part of Ange turn like gangsta, like when we were, oh my God, that night. You called her. So we were in the appearance. We did an appearance together, which was the best. Anything I did with her, we never, ever, car rides, anything, spoke about the show or the mob wives. Like people used to think, I guess because everyone else, the cast would do that.
Yep.
That wasn't our relationship or friendship. It was like, well, how do you cook the roast? And what did you tell me to add on it? And blah, 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 blah. And then in the car, it was just stories and stories of everything we've been through. I mean, there was one time she made me laugh so hard. I thought I was gonna die. I'm not even kidding. I couldn't breathe.
I know that kind of story.
And I was going like this to her, like, please stop, Ange. Comedy was on 1,000. She could have literally had she could have been a comedian. Those are like 2 things. I know everyone knew Ange was funny, but I don't think they really knew to the extent how funny. Like I asked to pull over so I could breathe. And because I couldn't breathe, she was laughing so hard and the driver was like,
I bet you any amounts of money she had piss in her pants when she came home.
She was crying. And because I couldn't stop it. And you know what's the craziest part? The story was demented. Like, you know, if I shared it with anybody, they'd be like, really? Was the person okay? Did the police come? Was there an ambulance involved? Like, I was laughing. And that's why I think the driver was like looking at us like, okay, like you're laughing at that? I almost fell off the floor. Andrew was hilarious, but also tough. Like, people don't know how tough she was. Like, she didn't take shit from nobody. Everyone's like, oh, yes, she didn't want no problems. Everything was beautiful and fun with her. We never had arguments. It was just great. But don't fuck with her neither. Like, nobody really knew that. Like, and
do you remember when Renee fucked with her?
Well, I remember.
Camera.
Well, and she was right. And she went after Renee.
Like crazy.
And I'm going to tell you something. Nobody was holding her.
Nobody.
I'm a strong little bastard. I'm small, but I'm strong. And I know what strength is. And I'm telling you, I remember I went home. I said, Lee, let me tell you something. If she was so mad.
So mad.
If she would have got a hold, Renee was fucking finished. I told Renee, you know, like after, I was like, bro, if she caught you, like grabbed onto you, you getting hurt. They couldn't hold her. She was strong as hell.
I know.
And she was so mad. And it you know, they try to be like, oh, Drita this. I didn't even know why she was, I don't care. I saw her angry. I know I didn't, but I saw her angry and I told her, you know, like, I got you. Like, it don't matter. You want to fucking flip this place upside down. Who do you want me to punch? It was just kind of like for her to just be like, you know, hit this, hit that. That's why the night we did the appearance, we were having such a good time. And then you called her.
And I called. I had to call because I was really nervous at that point. Like I literally
She
had.
answered. She was all happy. She answered the phone. I look at her whole face change. She's screaming. I couldn't even understand what she was saying. She hung up and she looked at me and she was like, tomorrow you break Karen's fucking face. I was like, what? Like, what did you just say?
I know, it was bad.
And I got up and I was like, no problem. I mean, that was like a fucking gift for me, but it wasn't but honestly, that's how mad she was.
So mad.
At Karen. And Karen came to you in the bar, right?
That's what happened. My niece was having her girlfriend's 25th or 26th birthday. And Karen was there and she asked me to step outside to talk to her. And I was like, all right, I just went. And she said to me that my sister was a rat. And I was like...
But she just went there and said that to you?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, when my sister got in trouble, I was there. I went to every court appearance. I was there when she had
And she definitely wasn't a rat. I mean, that was a fact. That's why she was so angry.
I said to Karen, she goes, I have the papers to prove it. I said, well, can I see them? And naturally, there was no papers. So.
I know. She did that.
I said, well, I think I'm going to have to call my sister.
And what'd she say?
She's like, no, that are in her parents. I'm like, no, I'm going to do what I want.
But why do that? Why come to you? First of all, why insult your sister to your face?
And you want to come to her bar.
Was it because of the Bravo with Andy when they asked her? Because I think it was right after that.
It could have been. I was so irate about it that I didn't know. I ran to my husband. I'm like, this girl is calling my sister a rat. I got to call my sister. And he was like, what did she rat?
Told me, she goes, after she said break her fucking face, this bitch is calling me a rat. She said, I'm going to get the paperwork from my lawyer and I'm going to shove it down her fucking throat.
She actually did.
Bro,
I have it on my Instagram.
I don't blame, listen, if there's one thing you do not do in this little world, you never call someone a rat that didn't rat. These people, the FBI, which should be the most illegal thing, actually Giuliani created that shit. So, I mean, I don't know how the laws work, but that's bananas. I could do whatever I want. I could fucking do any crime in the world as long as I tell on Janine and then I'm free of my crimes. That's a great way to teach criminals.
She wasn't free though.
But no, I'm saying that is, because for people that don't understand, that's how it works. So, the one person who is a hardcore criminal could be doing the worst things in the world. Whatever he says is true. It's demented. And most of them are usually jealous of the other one or don't want to go to jail.
Exactly.
So usually it's like 99% not fucking true. But anyway, Ange never ratted. Ange was legit. And Ange was being called a rat by her her fucking, what is she called? No, you know what I call them? Co-workers. Because when I said that, everybody got a little mad. But in truth, that's how I looked. Like they were my co-workers. We're all working on the show.
But I'm going to tell you something. She said that to me a few times, Like, because I kept saying, don't do it anymore. And she says, to me, it's a job. I don't even like them. Not about you.
No, I know. But
she used to say, Drita's so nice. She used to come to Nocturnal.
Well,
I met her when she was a little kid.
So young.
Yeah,
like I was we have a big age gap, and that was a big difference then. Like everybody that's older, even with the mob
like
wives,
now.
They were that 10, 11 years is a big jump. I was only 10, you're 21 in the clubs. You were the older girls. I didn't hang out with you, I didn't grow up with you. That's the truth. Andrew's like, what, 15 years older? At this age, no age matters. But at that age, it matters. Big shit. Andrew's like there for me. I had a lot of problems during those years in the bars, and she did so much for me. And I would have been in jail at least 5 times maybe if it wasn't for Ange. And Ange saved me from, and every time I would beat up people or whatever, there was like a pool game and they took my money or whatever happened, I ended up in a melee. So the place was turned upside down and Ange was like, my baby, why you like the Tasmanian devil? She goes, you like the cartoon? She was like, look at my mom.
Well, in her head, that's how you looked.
I walked in and she goes, Drita, just that vase, that I'll be mad about if it breaks.
She's so funny.
But she saved me from so much shit. And I remember like some like gangster guy was like, who did this, you know? And she's like, my little baby Drita, she's tiny, she's harmless. Who did this
She
to
ain't
this
so
place?
harmless.
Yeah, but she really, like, you know, I used to watch her, like how respected. People don't realize that Ange was so famous before being famous,
Yeah.
right?
So good.
Like,
my little motto is, the show didn't make Big Ange. Big Ange made the show.
that is the best. That's
my
the truth.
motto.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
When Ange came on, and I remember as soon as they put her on, I told my whole family, this was the smartest decision. They're like, why? I said, you'll just wait. She's gonna make this show. She's gonna skyrocket. This show's gonna skyrocket.
And it did.
I believe that's where I knew there'd be jealousy because of it, and she would blow up, and because that's just the way people are, and they were
People,
jealous.
no matter where you went, always, no matter, we could be getting on an airplane, we could be in a funeral. Oh, I know the guy in that next funeral. Could you get in the funeral that we're supposed to be in? Get in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Ange,
How do you know every single body?
no, she knew everybody.
Everyone.
One time, I'll tell you a funny story. One time I'm in front of the club in Staten Island. It was freezing outside. You don't want to go do the coat check. So we literally have little outfits. We have no clothes on. We're standing in the front. A limo pulls up, just like the movies. Everybody had to wait. And usually we got in right away because we knew the people there, whatever. And the guy goes, well, everybody's got to wait right now. So one of the girls goes, well, who's in the limo? Is it like movie star or whatever? Out comes Ange in the most incredible, because I have an obsession with coats, the most incredible fur coat, right? So she gets out. It's mink to the floor, like gangsta. She gets out her hair, makeup, nails. And let me tell you something. Nobody did their lips back then. Nobody did what Ange did back then. So all the people, and it's so funny how everybody was jealous of her or they would talk shit. Everybody did it after the fact, but she was like the blueprint.
That's right.
Sorry, nobody did it.
Nope.
Nobody. So
My
no one
sister
had,
was
they
one.
worked on, Ange came out, did whatever she wanted, and then her tits were just, that was the one thing I remember when I first met her. I just was in shock because I was a kid. I couldn't believe it. And you know what?
We didn't believe it either.
I sleep on my stomach. So when the second I was introduced, my ex-boyfriend was like, this is Big Ange. The second she like looked at me, she was like, oh, she goes, you, and she would like put a hand on my chin. She's like, you're such a beauty. And I see I never saw that before. I never did. I mean, it was, as soon as, that's all I looked at. And
Wait a minute,
the
maybe
first
you
thing
could
I
see him
said
go
to
to-
her was, how do you sleep? Because I was a stomach sleeper. So I go, how do you sleep? She started laughing and we were laughing, and that was it. I mean, from then on, she just was my baby, my baby. That's what she called me. And I was the worst. I was a bad baby. But she still didn't matter. It didn't matter. Whatever I did, it didn't matter. No, anybody like, oh,
Yeah, once she
look what
loves
she
you.
did. Right. Like
That's it.
she like, it was like she, and then what anyway, back to, I'm jumping. Back to when she gets out. She gets out with her mink. Everybody's like, who's that? Who's that? And I was like, that's Big Ange. And Big Ange had like this guy come out and she goes, that's not what I said. Move over there. She was the boss of the men that got out of the car. And it was the best thing I ever saw. I'm like, and she's like, oh, my baby's here. You have my baby on the side over here. The guy goes, no, we were just letting her in. She was like, come up. She was so gangster. I was so underage to be going. I don't even know how was there any rules back in the day?
No.
Was there
she
any
had no
rules?
rules. She had no rules.
How is
My
it
poor
that
mother.
like the bar never closed? Like, was there any laws? And I think of my stories and I'm like, were these even real at one point? Like, you know what I mean? When I was talking
know
to
exactly
one of the
what you mean.
producers, like telling them like my life story and things, and I'm telling the story and I'm thinking in my head, no one in the room believes this is real. They think I make shit up. My brother told me that too. He was like, I don't tell stories about you in college. He's like, not because they're demented, it's because they're gonna think I'm lying to try to be entertaining. So, and I get that now. I get that because they're so insane.
They are.
No, they're insane.
And her stories were very insane.
Like, and the amount of like fights, like it was just nuts. And who goes to jail? Nobody. Like, and Ange said that once on the show that had me rolling. She's like, "Oh, you could get stabbed in my." Nobody went to jail. No, there was nothing. It was like a free for all of
No one seen
psychotic.
anything. Everybody became blind.
Right. Like you couldn't be the rat. Like nobody wanted to tell
No
on
one knew
anything.
who you are, where you lived. They didn't know anything.
I'll tell
I
you.
kind of liked it like that, though.
I love talking about Ange right now. This is fun. This is making me feel so happy because these are also stories I do. I can't wait to read your stories. I don't even want you to share them because I want everybody to read it. I really want you to read it. And
My meatball recipe is in this one.
it is? Mm-hmm. Shut
I didn't
up.
put it in the Bitchen in the kitchen because I don't know if everybody knows, but it was so funny. My husband started it.
Wait, what? Bitchen Kitchen
Bitchen in the Kitchen is my cookbook.
is your cookbook. So
Yes.
And you didn't bring that for me?
I forgot it.
Well, we're going to have to get that. I love this picture.
So what happened was when Shubbook came out and we did the book party.
Okay.
Okay, Shelley, do you remember Shelley at VH1?
My favorite. Actually, you just said that. She's my favorite person from VH1.
Such a sweet person.
She was like the nicest woman ever. And everyone's like, in this field, everyone's like, no.
She was wonderful. So she was talking to me during everything. And she was asking me, because she's not Italian, about meatballs. How do you make your meatballs? This, that, and the other thing. I said, why don't you come over to my house and I'll teach you how to make them. So she said, really? And I said, yeah, just come to my house. So go to the next day. And my sister naturally calls me when she gets up and she goes, so what do you think? So I said, God, I think it went great. I really like that Shelley lady. She's going to come over. Why Shelley come to your house? I said, I'm going to teach you how to make meatballs. She goes, all right, just make sure I'm not filming. I said, no. She wants to make me the teacher. She goes, my meatballs are definitely better than yours. And I said, are you fucking crazy? Your meatballs ain't better than mine.
No, you got.
He was listening to us.
Serious. Your meatballs are serious.
So I said, she goes, are you nuts? She goes, you know what? I'm gonna come over. We're gonna make meatballs, her and I, and we're gonna pick a fan to come and say, and you're gonna get this, that, and the third. And I'm like, he was on Twitter going, the Raiola sisters, they're on fire, meatball war, and he was doing all this.
Oh, the food, the way Ange cooked, really, honestly, was out of this world.
Now, Carrie Keegan.
But did you cook just as good as her with every dish, or just
as good? Yeah.
So you guys are just gifted. You were on a show with the meatball.
Right.
I watched it.
Carrie
She told
Keegan?
me because I love cooking.
Right, with the big morning buzz.
Yeah, that was the best.
The night before, I make this cute hat with this table on, like this strainer on it with all these meatballs, and this thing coming out of it was really cute. And I said, let the winner wear the meatball crown. So we get there, and she's going, bigger is better, and I'm going, less is more. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna do, and we're going back and forth, back and forth. So the day before, I said to her, Angela, you know what? I'm going to make my meatballs, some of them now, and then the rest of them I'm going to make them tomorrow. So I don't want you to think I'm like japping you. Like, and because I know she was busy. She goes, no, all right, I'm just going to have to make mine there. I said, all right, fine, not a big deal. Well, she comes, first of all, we got Guy Fieri's kitchen, the American Grill.
That's sick.
Right? We had 2 executive chefs, 4 judges. And my sister comes in with a fucking loaf of Italian bread, a pound of macaroni, a salad. I'm like, wait a minute. Well, I thought you were busy. She goes, I'm going to give the whole meal. I said, that sucks.
She was
because I only have meatballs.
She wasn't having it for you to say you were the queen meatball. She wasn't having it.
She was not having it. So I said to Carrie, I said, what are you going to do? Because they're going to know if they see her put down all this stuff on her plate. And I have 3 meatballs. 3 in the sauce, 3 fried. It's just not fair. They're gonna know, and she's popular. So Carrie said, don't worry, but we're not gonna have them in here. We're gonna go out. They're gonna go out. I said, all right.
I'll
so here I am.
Right now. She
I'm putting my 3 pathetic meatballs and my other 3 pathetic meatballs. And Angela's putting her bread. She's got it sliced on an angle, her salad.
She's making it look good, right?
So we put our plates down for the 2 guys. And they said, we know this originated out of the same kitchen, but this one here is so much better. It was mine.
Oh, did she get pissed?
If you see my picture, when we held the $5,000 check because we were able to
That
give it to
I
her.
remember.
So it said my
that.
name on it, and I was like, oh, so I'm the meatball queen now. I was telling her. And she was friggin' hot, man. Oh, she was mad.
So wait, so then you won the meatball challenge and you guys donated the $5,000 to charity?
Yeah,
That's
all right.
awesome.
It was great.
Didn't you live in Sheepshead Bay?
Dominic.
Well, what happened when you borrowed Dom's car? You were with Ange.
You mean?
I know. I don't
Angela.
know. I remember there was like a great story, so I want to talk
Okay,
about
so
that.
my
stuff.
sister wore like Daisy Duke shorts all the time, and we were dying for Randazzo's. I was pregnant. Was I pregnant? Yeah, I was pregnant. When was I?
I love Randazzo's.
How
How many kids do you have?
7.
So
I have
you're
5
always
sons and 2
pregnant.
daughters. So anyway, we were dying for it, and she said, "All right, I'll go." So she took my minivan and went down to Shipshead Bay. So anyway, she picks up the Shipshead Bay. We ordered it, or cops pulled her over, and she's like, "What?" You know, like she wasn't doing anything wrong. They really wanted to pull her over to talk to her, but then they ran something like a VIN number, and it was a tag job car. I'm driving fucking kids around in this, so I don't know.
Wait. The cops pulled her over thinking
was a
she's
fucking
hot,
minivan.
whatever, and probably just look it up and maybe we're gonna tell her. That's all right.
Yeah, they
Right.
want to probably meet her.
That is hilarious.
So
Did
now-
Ange know?
No, none of us know. Only Dominic knew. But I'm driving my kids around in this car now. She calls me from the police station, and then it's around the corner from my house.
Wait. She got arrested?
Yeah, she got in trouble. No. So now she goes to the police.
This
She goes to the police, arrest me. Who's the car? He says, oh, it's my brother-in-law's car, my sister around the corner. Don't go there. Arrest me. She's telling them. So she calls me and she goes, I'm around the corner in the 6. What are you doing in the police station now? Where's the food? She goes, it's with me. She said, but they want to arrest Dominic. I said, for what? She goes, the minivan's a tag job. First, I had to ask what a tag job was because I had no freaking idea. Then I said, you're making me ride around with a car like this with my kids in it? Right? That's number 2. So now I said, Angela.
Wait, hold on. These are the type of stories that are hilarious. And that's why the driver was like, that's funny. We were on the floor. I didn't remember this whole story, but.
No, but I said, Angela, let Dominic go. So she goes, oh no, my sister will kill me. I can't go. Please keep me. I don't want to go home. Because she knows I would have went crazy.
Right.
You know? But he said, Janine, I have to go. It's my car.
Oh.
You know? Just
So that's how she got out?
So he went around the corner. They arrested him. And then she came home, petrified to come home. I said, what did you do that they stopped you? She goes, I didn't do nothing. I said, it's those fucking shorts you got on. I said, that's what it is.
Yeah, Daisy Dukes.
They just wanted to meet her.
Like I said, some people are just born with that presence, and Ange had it. That's it. There's nothing, you have to have that or you don't have it, and that's it. It's an unexplainable thing. When she pulled up in front of the club, it's just people thought someone famous came.
Well, she was.
Right. Like everybody knew Big Ange. When people don't understand, everybody. And it wasn't like Staten Island. I'm talking everywhere.
Every borough.
Every borough, restaurants, everywhere.
Florida,
When,
didn't care.
Even like people don't understand, like in this lifestyle, you just walking in and you're treated like you're famous.
That's right.
First you got the tables, you're treated extra special. It's a different feeling. So everybody that would watch
warm,
the show,
right?
Well, yeah, and it's comfortable. I mean, there's demented things that end up happening, but I feel like you get used to it. That's the thing. Getting used to things that I feel like a normal person, I'm not saying I'm not normal, but as like a normal life, meaning no violence. They don't, see anything crazy or hear crazy stories. I know the things I've been through, they'd be like seeing 40 doctors probably. Because like a lot of times, like I would tell the story, like now even doing a book or doing the show and diving deep into my life, there's things I never ever repeated or thought of in 20 years, Janine. I got so, it is like,
It's
I'm
healing,
sure
right?
it is healing, but at the same time, I get anxiety, and then there's things that are too much and too deep, and I'm like, I just completely learned how to block. I know that people, doctors talk about it. I think opposite. For me, what works is it's gone. It doesn't exist. Just like an ex-boyfriend, like, or a friend. Someone fucks me over. It's like my brain mentally visits your grave, and you're just non-existent. So you don't irritate me because you're not alive.
I guess
in
that's
my mind.
pretty good to be like that, though.
I tell my daughters that, like, they're like, how do you do that? Like, I don't think everybody's capable of doing
No,
it, and
I
it's
can't.
probably not the best advice because I'm not a doctor. But I will tell you, it is a great, beautiful thing. Why relive something that's making you stress and cry? Why? Talk it, let it out. Why? What am I letting out? For what? Why do I want to talk about that?
I cry a lot, though.
Because you rethink things
I
that
relive
are.
it.
That's my point. Now, if I'm a doctor and you're in my chair, and I say to you, "That's what happened to you," don't ever think of that again. I mean, I probably make no money then, right? So it boils down to, how do I make money from you? Let's discuss it. You need to let it out. And every week you're crying because you're fucking reliving a horrendous thing.
Yep.
And you're gonna leave sad, and you're gonna need to
That's
see me
right.
again. I would never make money as a doctor.
No.
I would tell
Listen,
you
people
that
just
does not
leave.
exist anymore. Do not relive it. Do not rethink it. Why are you crying? Why are you thinking about it? They tell me, like, and listen, I've been through it. I've been through it. Anybody sits on a chair and says this happened to them, I'll be like, yeah, all right, check. I don't even think there's something that didn't happen to me. I feel like I lived, for my age, I feel like I lived 2-3 lives already. It's really messed up. I mean, thank
I
God
understand.
I do the block out.
I understand.
You understand? Like,
Yeah.
and one of the producers is like, I can't believe you went through that. I'm like, not only did I go through that, I never discussed it again. I would never, ever, say anything that could put anybody or get anyone in trouble. And B, if it was hurtful to me, I'm not going to rethink it. Once I feel like it's coming or I think about it, boom, gone. Like, someone
very
breaks
good.
your heart.
It's good.
You're going to cry. They're gone. You're going to keep crying over reliving, we fucking ran on the beach like two dicks and throwing balloons in the air so I could be in shambles with snot bubbles? For what? I have to replace you. You died. You're not alive. You don't exist.
I guess that's good.
That's how I do it.
My mother's gone 36 years.
I have to ask you something. Your mom died the same age as Big Inch?
The same month, the same age.
No, I'm going to tell you
So-
why I'm asking you before you say anything.
Okay, go ahead. You
There
say
was
first.
a conversation I had with Ange when in my house. She came over. We weren't filming, and she sat. I'm gonna be sad because it was like, when she was sick, it was hard. We didn't want cameras around or whatever, and I was trying to be real positive. So she had said to me before she found out she was sick. She said to me, "You know what's crazy?" And the only reason why she brought up your mom is because she said, "You live right near where my mom, when I visit my mom, your mom's buried
Where Angela is.
where Angela is." So she said, "My mom died so young. She was my age." So I look at her and I was like, "No way." And she's telling me everything. She was very, it was an emotional conversation. But then she says to me, "That scares me. That's weird. Like that's like me dying this year." That was when she said that to me. That was maybe a month before she found out that she had cancer. She said that to me.
My mom just hit the floor and had a brain aneurysm.
That's what she told me. Oh my God.
So want to hear
Oh my
something
God.
that's so weird? It's also in the book. But Angela died at 55. June, she would have been 56. In February 18th, 2016. My mom died February 8th. Gonna
I was
be,
gonna say month too, right?
and Angela was born June 30th. My mother was born June 21st. So I
Wow.
calculated all the days. So my mother lived 20,320 days, and then Angela lived 20,321 days. So I'm right in the middle of both of them on the 28th of June. So I thought that when I was 55, that was it for me. Actually, Dominic.
You don't think like that anymore, right? I had a long
I used
conversation
to,
with you about.
I used to call them, and my psychic used to call me and say, "You have to stop calling them," because I didn't even speak to her. She didn't even know. She'd be calling me, and she would, "You got to stop calling them, because they'll come for you. Don't call them. You have to stop."
Oh, I believe in that.
So I stopped.
You know
calling
me,
them.
I'm very spiritual. That's
I
why
stop-
I
I
had
stopped
that
doing it.
conversation with Andrea. I said that has to go away from your brain and your thoughts. You cannot say that.
She
Don't even
could-
say it out
She
loud.
could not stop saying it.
I know. And
could
I
not
used
stop.
to like literally fight with her and be like, please stop saying that. Don't talk like that. Who is the doctor? God? Don't fucking let a doctor tell you shit.
Doctor never told her that.
No, I'm not saying he did. It's okay. So this is crazy. And there's this, I don't remember, I'm not going to say exactly which country it is, but the doctors there give you a choice on telling you if you're going to die, you have cancer, you could die in 6 months. They did it with one guy, and the guy told them, if I have something that's, because he knew he was sick, that's really like, I could die soon, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I will sign papers. I don't want to know. They were like, no. And there's no laws really. It's kind of like not a third world country, but it's not like here. So the doctor was like, all right, over here, that'd be illegal. You're fine. Do you know how many years he lived?
Probably won't.
14 fucking years not knowing that he was on his deathbed over there. Why did that happen?
I think because you manifest it.
You manifest it, and your brain is thinking of you, first of all, being nervous and scared and anxiety. They say, oh, it brings illness. Of course it brings illness. Everything else starts to not work. I went through, listen, I could preach all day long. I literally had a nervous breakdown the second time Lee went to jail. I was very sick, very sick. See, now we could go back to me saying I block out everything. But when I was blocking out my stress, I did it to the point where I just made believe nothing was wrong. I got sick like that too.
Did you really?
Yeah, because when the second time I couldn't see my daughters. When I was pregnant, nobody realizes I was only 3 weeks married, like 1 month pregnant. Lee got 6.5 years. So we weren't even like, it was the beginning. It was the beautiful honeymoon stage. It was amazing. We were so happy. We were so in love. We just finished the house. I'm having a baby. 3 weeks after our marriage, I have 5 million cops, FBI, raiding the home, taking him from me. I'm young. I look at my daughter now at her age. I was only, 23? I'm young, and I lost everything that day in 1 second. Him going away 6.5 years, no bail. They give Jeffrey Dahmer bail. Lee didn't get bail. No bail. So his words to me, and I'll never forget it, because when the FBI was raiding the house, you know, I was dreaming. You know, I'm a dreamer. I was dreaming something was wrong. And I kept saying, is everything okay? You know? Long story short, when they raided the house, he got up. I have FBI agents literally strapped. It looked like they're in the army, right? Coming through windows, breaking down doors. He went in the bathroom. This was crazy. He was washing his hands. He's OCD. washing his face. There is people storming in the house. I'm pregnant. I'm looking at him in the bathroom, and I know, like, I got real emotional. Tears are coming to my eyes, and I'm not saying anything. I'm just looking at him. I know they're gonna come up any second. And he goes, "Don't worry, my love. I'll get bail. I'll be right. I'll be right. I'll take care of everything. Don't stress." They're like, "Yo, wow!" They come flying in, but he was like brushing his teeth, washing his face. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, the way he was handling it kind of made me not scream or bug, because I was just like, I think that, his energy was just so calm, which is crazy. But I don't know how anyone could be that. He was like, what makes him think I gotta brush my teeth, wash my hands? I'm not gonna be able to probably do that for some time. Like, you know what I mean? But so that whole time I kept thinking, okay, he's gonna get bail.
And he did.
So, right, and he'll take care of everything.
He never got bail.
No bail. It's like unheard of. I remember, I think I passed out when I was sitting there, and then they said like that many years, and
So
I thought in my head that I was
yourself?
beginning of my pregnancy, and I'm thinking, this baby's not even gonna meet him till she's in kindergarten. That sounded like a lifetime
Away.
And
Yeah.
you have to remember, like at that
That's crazy.
time, like, I had a hard time with my parents. My father, Mr. Straight Lace, legit was, So there's so much to what I have been through. That's why doing the show or the scripted series, like when I look at my own character sitting on the outside, looking in, and I was in such a different kitchen, different world, the parents, everything. I understand, like when I do Mob Wives, these girls that they were born in it. It's different.
It is different.
And
it's very different.
Like in a way, I look at myself and I'm like, what an asshole. Like you chose to be in this? I mean, really. Like they were born in it, but I was young and I was so used to it. I was just so used to it.
So what did you do? You had Leah alone?
I had Leah alone, and I had, at that moment, I had to sell like $1 million house. I had bought a condo, shredded, ripped it apart, redid it. I had this like...
By yourself?
I had to do that, but move back in my mom's. So picture my dad, he just tried to have a conversation with me like, this guy there's two things, dead or jail. Like, you have soccer scholarships, you have everything going for you. What are you thinking? It was so hurtful. It's hard. It was hard for my parents. Now I'm a parent. I'm like, my God, my poor parents. I was so good in school. I was Miss Soccer Star. Every Sunday I was in the newspaper. How Drita eats, sleeps, soccer. So it was just so. It is sad because then I look but they were there for me. If it wasn't for my family, that's why having a big family is beautiful. But having a good family, it doesn't matter if it's 3 or 100.
Yeah.
The ones that love you and they're
true.
there for you.
100%.
Because without my mother and my father, oh my God, I would have been fucking screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, he got 6.5 years. That's not chump change.
And he went to state or federal?
He went to federal, and
so they could move him anywhere.
Yeah, they can move him anywhere. But going on jail visits wasn't even like weird to me. My ex-boyfriend was in jail. I went to visit him. It was just that long time,
My brothers went to jail for a while. So I just had a newborn. My third son was born on December 9th. And we went to spend Christmas in jail with one of my brothers.
Right, so you know what? People are so judgmental. Or they'll be like...
I wouldn't care.
No.
I didn't care anymore. It was like, Did
you ever go to MDC?
I never went to MDC. No, I wouldn't go there.
Well, I had a fight with the guard in MDC.
Mm-mm.
I had a fight with her. Like, she was such a motherfucker. I don't know what it was with me. She hated my guts and didn't want me to let me in. We waited in ice weather. Leah was a baby. She loved her dad. Couldn't wait to see him.
Aww.
And I went in the front of the line. I said, if I wait for the hour, is it okay that she's wearing a hood? She's 3 years old. I know hoods are not allowed. Yeah, it's fine. I waited an hour and 40 minutes, got to the front. She was like, nah, you can't come in. We were frozen. She was like, you can't come in. I'm not even kidding. I went crazy.
Why did
Another
you do
guard,
that?
Oh no, it gets worse. Another guard comes down and she was like, you could go inside. And she looked at her and she was like, why do you always give people problems? We go inside, she's inside. Aaliyah was running around, and Aaliyah went and opened where she was standing, like the gate, and she yelled something like, get your fucking hand off. She didn't finish the sentence. I came flying. I jumped out of my seat. I just called her out. I said, get out behind that counter. I'm gonna fuck you up. You ain't even a real cop. I'm beating your face in right in front of everybody. I was like, I didn't give a fuck. And now I'm calling her out. Yeah, I swear to God. Now I'm screaming, and I don't look, I'm angry. I am red, veins are all over, spit is coming out. I transformed. Everybody in the visiting room was just like, what just happened? I was sitting there like with a bun prior to it. I was like, so I called her out. I'm screaming, come out. She don't come around. I said, one-on-one, I'm gonna break your fucking face. You abused me in the front. I said, now you think you're abusing my kid. I said, so now I'm gonna ask you a question. I said, what are you doing, banging my husband?
Oh, that was good.
She goes, I don't even know who he is. I said, shut the fuck up. Every time she would talk, I said, you're not allowed to talk. I said, you want to talk, you have to fight.
Now
so
I'm the god.
I was going crazy. No, Janine, I was going crazy. Then Aaliyah's sitting there with her. She had like little chips, and she's like literally like, you shouldn't curse at me. And all of a sudden the warden comes. The warden, who has the warden? Only me. My cousin went on visits to visit her husband for years. She goes, none of this shit happens to me. I go in the back of the warden's like, how are you? I was like, I am fucking pissed. I said, I didn't do a crime. I'm being treated like a criminal. If you treat me like this, how do you treat the inmates?
Oh my God.
I said, this bitch got a problem with me. If she wants to fight me, we should just fight. And he goes, all right, you can't do that. And I said, well, but it's okay, she abuses me? I said, that shit ain't happening either. I said, I want to know something funky's going on over here with these guards. I said, because she got a problem with me, and I want to know what it is now. I said, and you ain't kicking me out of here. I waited in the freezing weather, and I went on and on and on. He knew I was just not having it.
With your baby.
And he just looked at me and he goes, you didn't have to finish? He's like, I honestly am going to let you stay. I said, I'm not staying in the room with her. He goes, I'm going to make her go in the front. It was, when she was leaving, he goes, you go in the front. Everybody in the visiting room was clapping. But the best part is Lee is waiting because they have to wait in a spot for their visit. And someone was like, yo, there's some crazy... He's like, some crazy bitch is calling out so-and-so, whatever. And Lee's like, does she have red hair? That was funny. I had a lot of problems in jail. I had another fist fight. I'll tell you another time at Rikers. Melee, blood bath on the side of the road. Fucking disaster. Funny. I mean, I don't know why people just bother me. I don't talk to anybody. I sit on the bus. I stare at the floor. I'm like, don't talk to me. Jealous. Don't talk to me. Don't. I swear to God.
We got a lot of those.
Janine, I think in my head, just ignore me, don't talk to me, because of my temper, and I know I'm gonna fight if they bother me. And I don't look at anybody. I'm like, just leave me alone. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like my whole life was like that. I don't want to fight. I don't want a problem. I just want, like, people think, oh, why do you have so many fights? You like it? Yeah, I like coming home from a visit with an ice pack on my fucking head. I'm limping. My mother's like, on the visit, Drita? Aren't there police over there? That's embarrassing. My head's all in knots. Bro, it's crazy. And that doesn't happen to no one else. And Lee's in jail, and they're like, bro, it was a bad fight. And Rikers is... They say they should shut it down. I had a fist fight in there.
I've never been.
I'm a visitor, and I had a fight. No, it was vicious. It was crazy. Everybody was crazy. I think the security, the guys that worked there were fucking drug dealers. The whole thing, I mean, allegedly, I don't know, am I supposed to say that? But it was demented. Rikers Island was demented. That whole story, I'll save for another time for you. But you're coming back because you have to bring me a cookbook.
Absolutely.
So I want everyone to check out the book, Angela, My System, My Friend, Our Big Journey by Janine. I think that you are going to love it. I can't wait to, thank you for bringing it to me. I can't wait to read it. I'm going to actually have it right here right now. That's what I was holding on to it like someone was going to steal it from me. What is this?
So this is the Staten Island Advance, and it was February 23rd, 2006, the edition that she was in when she passed. She was also, I wanted to show you this.
Oh,
This is
wow, look
People
at this.
magazine. You know, they do it once a year. It's like a flip magazine. The people we lost.
She's in this?
Yeah.
Wow,
So I wanted to show
look
you
at
that.
this. I never saw this one.
A
This,
lot of
I
people,
saw.
a lot of people don't know like a lot of things. I literally have a chest
Look at this. How cool this is.
tremendously huge, and with
She
all her
looks
stuff in
beautiful,
it.
yeah.
And I want to one day give it to one of her grandchildren because I don't want her legacy to just disappear.
She can never, never, ever disappear. I think of her all the time. I literally talk to every time I'm cooking, because she's taught me, I was like, I want to master steak. And then we would talk about ingredients and all. It's so funny, all the drama that went on in the show, and me and her are talking about, no, you got to season it this way. Like, these girls were going ape shit, and me and her are talking about how to season a steak or what you do.
Because
And
you and her were
it's a different friendship. It was a
Exactly.
friendship. It wasn't a coworker.
girls
I
were
know. I
in a
grew up with
friendship.
her. That's it. I grew up with her. Like, really.
I don't think they could be anybody's friends. Yeah, it's me.
No.
They're just not
No.
friendly people.
I mean, you know what? I only met Carla once before the show.
That's
People-
it.
Once.
And
We'll
what
talk
the
about
other
that
thing?
another time. The first time I met Carla, we'll talk about that when you come back with your cookbook. But
And
the
meatballs.
meatball recipes inside.
Yes.
That's
A
great.
lot of people thought it was in the cookbook.
I like that you put it in there.
Yeah, so but because it was our story.
And what about this?
These are the things I bought her, and I never knew she saved these things, but she did. So she was very sentimental. Also, I had tattooed the day she died, my sister, my friend. But in actuality, if you see the card that she gave me for my birthday one year,
There's a special person on whom I depend to know me and love me, my sister, my friend. Is that where you got that from?
no,
No way.
that's what I wanted to tell you. I had this forever, and I didn't touch anything for months.
She even underlined.
She underlined because she never could like write me a whole letter.
I can't believe
mean?
it says that.
Okay, now read this
That's
one.
incredible. Happy birthday to someone I like having for a friend. So you love having for a sister. That's cute.
Yep.
Oh, look.
So now these, right?
She
Drita?
put Angela and Louie.
She was so funny.
Is
Now
Louie the dog, Louie, or Louie?
Louie's the dog.
No, I love her.
So these two I wanted to show you because I wanted to have her handwriting on my body. Okay? So I have it here, right?
Oh my God.
So the tattoo artist, she said to me, you know, she made a mistake. She said, love you every much. But she erased it. Here, she didn't erase it. So she said, let me just take this out. So I said, absolutely not.
Yeah, no,
This
that's
is my
great.
sister.
That's great
Because
that
she
you
would
did
call me
that.
up and say, how do you spell it again? She couldn't call me for my cards, so she would mess my cards up. I wanted to show you that.
I would pay anything to see Ange in school.
She never went.
No, I know. I would have loved to see her in a classroom. Can you picture Big Ange sitting in a classroom? That would be priceless.
Big Ange was Big Ange when she was 13. That's how big she was back then.
Well, I'm so happy you came. I love you.
And I'm so happy to be here.
And you know what? You're gonna come next time. We'll share more. We'll share more stories because the stories never end. And with the cookbook. But check out Janine's book. And she came.
And
to
I will bring the meatballs next time, promise.
Maybe I'll challenge you to meatballs. I'm gonna lose. It's just for fun. It's just we can taste it. We'll have the crew taste it, and it doesn't matter if I lose because I'm gonna be like, how'd you? Oh, wait a minute. I might not lose. You wanna have the recipe? Yeah, we can't even do that anymore. She shared the secret. I'm sure she has something under her sleeve. There's some shit she didn't put in there. Don't even give me that shit. There's something that she's like, I ain't telling them about that because then mine wouldn't be the best. But anyway, thank you guys. I will see you next time.
Love you.